Welcome to another edition of Mike Finds Things, where we go find a bunch of cool old records wherever we can find them, and we show them to you here right here on YouTube. This week was kind of dismal. Today I actually went to 3 estate sales, and they were all super dismal. But I did get a stack of cool LPs from a local thrift store the other day, and I'm going to show you the 78s and 45s, the highlights of the lot I got for essentially $2. I'll tell you the whole story on that. Literally blocks from my house. So that'll be coming up later on the video. We're going to start with the LPs I got at the thrift store. I've been kind of busy. I actually been looking for estate sales to find records, especially to feature on the channel and maybe to resell, or maybe some for the collection. And I found two cars at an estate sale not far from here, and I wound up buying both cars. One of them's a 74 Matador, which will be coming up on the channel, and a 71 Buick Skylark coupe, which I already have up for sale. But I still have a video that's going to be posting. This is to the other channel, to the automotive channel. So I'll be having that because I know some people subscribe to both channels. So we got the Skylark and the 74 AMC Matador. Matador I'm keeping, the Skylark I'm trying to sell right now. So we're going to go right into the thrift store stuff from earlier this week. I think this was on Tuesday. I get there at opening, and unfortunately, I was one of the first in the door. I get over the records are. Another guy shows up to look at records. He's looking at on the other side, and he actually found some good stuff too. We both found good stuff, and he passed on some stuff. So one of the ones he actually passed on that I snagged in the rack that he went through, all the hits by D.D. Sharp. So definite cool stuff. You know, it's got all your stuff like Locomotion, Watusi, Playboy, Twist and Shout. All the hits by D.D. Sharp, and it's really nice. Nobody wrote their name on it. And on these 60s ones, like I mentioned, there was missing the inner sleeve, so I put a new inner sleeve in it. But the actual record is like super nice condition. So I grabbed it. This one, according to Discogs, has sold between 2 and 20. So this is probably, I'm guessing, somewhere in the middle. I got this for 99 cents. One thing that's nice about records like this, the younger generation that's looking for records who wants, he actually pulled a David Bowie out of there. I didn't see what else he pulled. But those guys are looking for that stuff. They're generally passing on this stuff because they don't even know what it is. But just cool, greatest hits, D.D. Sharp. I've got a lot of D.D. Sharp 45s. I got some rare ones. She even did some like Northern Soul stuff that's worth a little bit more money. This one's a later pressing. I know we found CCR albums on the channel before. I couldn't find a value on this actual pressing, but it's CCR. This one is Bayou Country. And you can see it's got some wear on the album jacket, but it's the record. Like I said, with stuff like this, I generally need to find these in really good condition, which this one is. It looks super nice. You can just see right there. It's not scratched up. I couldn't find anything about this label. I'm guessing it's probably from the 1980s, so it's definitely a 1980s reissue. Still, it's a CCR record. Someone would probably pay $5 or $10 for that, I would say, since obviously CCR continues to be very, very popular up until this day. Did I mention the other video? One time I went and saw a Tom Petty tribute band, and there was a CCR tribute band right before that. And I mean, I knew every song. I mean, I do like CCR though, so I mean, like I said, their songs are instantly recognizable. People love it. So for $1, yeah, you pick it up. Here's another one I got at the thrift store. This one goes between $5 and $50, so that's a bit of a range there. This is actually Journey's first album. I believe this was like a self-titled album, and it was not a commercial success. So, not a lot of these out there. And it's the jacket's got some wear on it. The corners are all good. Obviously, Journey became massive after that. This was coming off some of the members were in Santana. But like I said, that's just a cool find because I guess this is one that doesn't come up that often, obviously, as their later albums, which were bigger, obviously bigger selling albums. So just that, I mean, I think that's pretty cool. That was a good one to find at the thrift store for 99 cents. Another one, speaking of later Journey albums, we got Journey's second album from 1976. The previous one was from 75. And this is Look into the Future, Journey. And this one sells between $4 and $21, obviously depending on condition. It's got a little bit of wear on the jacket, especially up here and on back here. So it's got a little bit of that ring wear going on. But once again, usually you see the later Journey albums, not these. Not sure if this one was when they started having some of the bigger hits that everybody knows. Not really, no. This wasn't like, one of the 80s ones. This one's got the original inner sleeve in it. Let's have a look. And this one, once again, it's in really nice condition. Something to find for 99 cents at a thrift store. I mean, you bet I'm going to snag that. Especially since, like I said, you don't see this particular Journey album very often. I know this isn't like the normal 60 stuff I've been finding lately, but you pick it up anyway. Here's what I took a chance on for 99 cents, and okay, at least it's worth more than I paid. For 1970, this one goes between $2 and $5, and I bought it because the record's actually in good condition. It's Gary Puckett and the Union Gap's Greatest Hits. So, I mean, obviously it's the Greatest Hits album. Someone likes Gary Puckett and the Union Gap. I mean, I would not have bought it unless the record was actually really, really sharp, which it is. Is it worth picking up for 99 cents? I think so. So there you go. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking with it. This is one I picked up. I think they got a guy's whole collection, because you'll see I've got a lot of one particular artist coming up that was very popular in this era. This one's from 1977, though. This one is REO Speedwagon Live. This one goes between $2 and $20. This is actually a double album set of REO Speedwagon Live. So, and of course, it's got the gatefold that pops open. And it's called "You Get What You Play For" is the name of the live album. It's got, and it's got. I mean, the records, both of them were in good condition. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have snagged it. Once again, it's got a little bit of ring wear on it. Both the records look like that. But, I think it was 99 cents. I can't remember which one. Sometimes they'll charge $1.99 if it's somebody they've actually heard of. And they'll charge more if it's like Beatles or Stones or something that they just assume is worth more money. Which usually, I think they had a really battered Stones album, and it was like, they wanted like $5 for it. And of course, I didn't buy it. This one I can only find, this one has so many variations of different labels and pressings and things like that, so I couldn't really nail this one down. This one has sold for, I believe, $7.77 is what this particular variation is sold for. It's Jethro Tull, Original Masters. Basically, it's a greatest hits album of Jethro Tull, which obviously I'd rather have the albums. I've got the Aqualung album's fantastic if you don't own it. Living in the Past, Aqualung, Locomotive Breath, Bungle in the Jungle, just stuff like that. So a lot of Jethro Tull for you. I think it was $1, so why not? This one has sold for 25 cents to $25, and this one is in the for sale section starting at $2. So I really didn't know where to go with this one. From 1983, it's Asia. So this was the Alpha album. I think we have another Asia album too. I believe the other one's the self-titled one. And this one again, I'm not going to go into all these, but these are all, I think they're all from the same collection. Some of these, and they're all in, like, the vinyl's in excellent condition. And then from 1982, I've got 2 copies of this. These go between 2 and 15. This was like the self-titled debut album of Asia, and I've got 2 copies. This one's got more ring wear on it. I think this one, the record's a little bit better, and the other one is the jacket's way better. So that one's obviously worth picking up for that price. And then we're going into, now we're going to get in. I mean, I know we just had 2 different Asia albums, but remember I told you we had a whole bunch from one artist? That was not the artist. Here we go. Now, buckle down for some Ted Nugent. I realize this is not surf music and soul and the stuff I usually find, but this is what I found this week, and I'm pretty honest. I'm not just going to like pepper and stuff for my collection and say I just found it. So this is Ted Nugent. It's just called Nugent. From 1982, it goes between $1 and $10.69. And again, I'm guessing it's from the same guy's collection. The record's in really nice. This one's a return. I think this wasn't as popular an album. And the next one we have another return because it's got the notch. Little Miss Dangerous, Ted Nugent from 1986. This one's between 3 and 20. It's probably a little bit more because by 86, most people were going CD by then. Again, another Ted Nugent. We're just gonna go right into the Nuge. Okay, if you people are probably like, what? Why do you have all these Ted Nugent albums? This one goes for between $1 and 16. These were $1 each. I mean, come on. 1981. Great Gonzos. This is like I think this is like the greatest hits album. And just because I bought one doesn't mean I shouldn't buy a second one. Why not have double the Great Gonzos by Ted Nugent? I don't know. It's there. I go to a lot of, if you watch the other channel, I go to a lot of van meets. The van guys love stuff like this. So I'm thinking I'm going to probably use this as sell or trade some of the van guys. They like that classic rock, stuff like Ted Nugent. And I mean, you're thinking, oh man, surely he did not find any more Ted Nugent. But yes, I did find more Ted Nugent. We got Ted Nugent Weekend Warriors from 1978. This one sells between $2 and $18.47. Just for like the maximum Nugent that you can handle. So, more Ted Nugent. I mean, I think this is you see where this video is going. I promise we're gonna have some older records later in the video. We have 78s coming up. I promise. From 1981, and here's another one I have bought 2 copies of. This one sells between $2.75 and $12 on Discogs. This one's a return. The other one is not. Ted Nugent, Intensity in 10 Cities. So I believe this is like his live album. So maximum Nugent. Plenty of Ted Nugent. This is my week. It's messing with cars and finding Ted Nugent records at the thrift store. Okay, guess what this one is? Nope, it's not Ted Nugent. But it is from 1974. This one sells between $1 and $12.40 on Discogs. This is Bachman Turner Overdrive. This all had to be the same guy's records because it's in that same genre. Bachman Turner Overdrive, Not Fragile album. Once again, I don't buy these unless the vinyl's really nice because, stuff like this, there's enough of them out there that you really need one where it's super, the vinyl's actually in really good shape. So it's got the nice gatefold. For all you BTO fans, I found that one. And people are probably like screaming at me right now, like, I thought this guy just found surf records and soul records. Oh no. But you know what? We're going back to the 60s now. We found this one, it's from 1966. It sells for between $1.50 and $14.95 on Discogs. It's a mono pressing. It is the Dave Clark 5 More Greatest Hits album. And sleeve's okay. It's got a hole here, so I'm guessing it was returned. On Epic Records, I'm going to pull the record out on this one because it actually is an older record, and this is one you don't see as much as, say, those Nugents or the BTO. And you can see, I mean, like I said, the album stuff, I gotta find it in really good shape unless it's just something like super special. And this one is, it's got a sleeve from some other record though. It's got lyrics to some other songs that aren't that record, so I'll have to find a different inner sleeve for that one. But lots of fun here on Mike Finds Things. You never know what I'm gonna find. You always hope it's going to be 60s 45s, but not this week, fortunately. At least it is a 60s record, so it's Dave Clark 5, More Greatest Hits. And I like Dave Clark 5, so there you go. Why not pick that one up for the collection for 99 cents? All right, we're going to go into this is the story on this one, on this collection. I'm going to grab it. I went to an estate sale by my house, like right by and I think it was even the second day. So I didn't even go there the first day. And I said they had records. And actually the day before I went to that one from last week when I found all the records, like those surf records and stuff that were in last week's video. I went to that one on Black Friday. This one I believe was the day after Black Friday. I went to, but the first day was the day before. I can't remember. I went the second day. That's all you need to know. And usually stuff's all picked over. So I was like, well, where are the records? And so we got a bunch of 78s, and there's some LPs. The LPs were all classical, so I wasn't interested. I did buy one LP though, and so I grabbed a bunch of stuff. I went through the 78s. I grabbed what I wanted. They didn't have 45s, and so what I did grab was some records, and I grabbed a couple DVDs, and they charged me $2 for everything I grabbed. I'm going to show you what I grabbed minus the DVDs that I got for $2. And I told the lady, because it was the last day of the sale, I said, well, what are you going to do with all these records that you don't sell? She's like, oh, I don't know. I said, well, I would like to take the 78s if you're just going to throw them away or something. So she actually called me later on that day, and I went back and got all the 78s. And then she says, oh, we found some 45s. You can have those too. So I got a bunch of 45s, and I'll show you those. That's coming up right here in the video. So here we go. We're from 1939. Now, this is one of the ones I picked out that when I was, before she called me and just told me to come grab it. 1939. This one sells between $8 and $12. It's Ut de Zay, Cab Calloway and his orchestra on vocalion. I like the Cab Calloway. We got more Cab Calloway coming up later in the video too. They came from the same guy's collection, and this is cool. And this one plays really well. I'm just going to show. I like to be careful with the shellac, if you know what I mean. The 78s seldom are like super perfect, but this one's really clean, and I played this one a couple times, and it plays just fine. Coming in, this is another one I grabbed originally. This is the Clink Clink Polka. It only sells for $3. It's from 1949 RCA Victor. It's minty. It's Spike Jones and his City Slickers, so it's a little bit of like a novelty type record. And one of the voices on this record is none other than Mel Blanc, the voice of many of your favorite cartoon characters. And it is, like, this is one of those 78s that's just super nice. More of a novelty record. Spike Jones stuff comes up all the time on 78. That's, I don't know what it is with Spike Jones. That dude sold a lot of 78s, and even 45s, which you'll be seeing a couple of those. There was actually a bunch of Spike Jones in the collection that I got on 78 and 45, but I'm just going to show you a couple of these. This one sells for $5. It's from 1950, Tennessee Waltz. It's basically them singing Tennessee Waltz, but in like a Yiddish accent. So why not? Grab that one. 1948. Only one I could find online that was a price. Somebody's asking $12. The Thing by Scatman Carruthers with Dead Man Blues on the other side. Other than that, I couldn't find anything. I don't think there's even listings for it on Discogs. It's in a Decca sleeve, it's a Capital, but some of those, you always find that where they put them in the wrong sleeve. I grabbed that one. These I didn't even look up. I just grabbed them, and then the lady's like, I didn't know what she was even going to charge me, and she's like, give me $2 for the whole thing. I'm like, okay. This one I grabbed because my mother likes Judy Garland. You're like, what? This one sells for $1.50 to $12. It's from 1950. Summer stock. It's a 10-inch LP, so it's a 33 RPM LP. The 78 version of this sells for decent money too. But this is the 33 version, the LP. It's in really nice condition. Of course, it's got Gene Kelly and Judy Garland, and you can see it's super clean. But I mean, with the artwork and everything, Judy Garland, why not? Probably gonna wind up giving that to my mother. She likes stuff like that, even though she doesn't have a turntable. This is one I grabbed, and you'll see why I grabbed it. This is ones when I first was paying for records. That I didn't realize she was just going to charge me $2 for everything. This one's from 1949. Sells for between $11 and $56. Sidney Bechet and his Blue Note Jasmine on Blue Note. 10-inch LP. So it's a 33. You can see the record's already coming out the bottom. Unfortunately, the cardboard has separated, but it's in pretty good condition, and it's a Blue Note. So it's pretty collectible. So I mean, because of that, it's probably like a $15 record, I would say. So that one's kind of cool. It's good to grab some of this cool early Blue Note jazz stuff. And here's an interesting one. Now, you like stuff that's when you find stuff that's like an acetate or something, and it's radio station related. This is a 12-inch acetate from WQXR near. I guess it's in New Jersey, near New York City, which I guess is still around. It's a classical station. It's an acetate. I rubbed off, there's like this wax coating on it, so I'm guessing that was to protect it. I played it. These are actually New York Times commercials, I guess, for playing on the air. So you can see it's as on the top, WQXR. I'll hold it there for a second so you can see what's going on. And I don't know, I just like grabbing stuff like this. Of course, there's nothing on the other side. You can see it just has this weird wax coating on it. I like weird stuff. It's history. I thought about contacting the station, see if they wanted it as like a piece of history. I'm sure they probably still have stuff like this. But obviously not local history to me, but it's still history. So it's good to preserve that stuff. This one, 1950, has sold for 40. I've seen online a sale price. I've seen people asking between $5 and $50. This is Jazz Concert at Eddie Condon's on Decca Records, 33 and a third LP 10-inch jazz record. This one's not separated, so it's in really nice condition. You can see it's Eddie Condon's. It's got the picture of the club there. And it's once again, I mean, this guy kept his records decent. This guy had a lot of Stan Kenton 78s. I've got like stacks of Stan Kenton that were in this collection. So I know Stan Kenton stuff is usually pretty common. So I got a bunch of cool sleeves too. There's a bunch of cool like extra sleeves like Mercury stuff and RCAs. And the only LP I actually bought, I didn't get the LPs that she had. She said she was going to donate those. But I did get one, and it's not worth a lot, but I like comedy albums. This one's like super nice. This is George Carlin, Occupation Fool. Obviously, I like Carlin. I have done stand-up comedy myself in the past, and this is just, I don't know. It's so clean. It's such a minty copy. I had to grab it. Not something that's like super valuable, but it's definitely worth snagging anyway. Okay, we're going to go into the 45s, and there's one 78 that I didn't catch the first time. It turned out to be something. So we're going to go in. Now we're going into the records that she gave me later. Those are the ones I originally pulled out when I was at the estate sale. So this stuff's, mainly the good stuff's the 45s, since I didn't even know they had 45s at the time. And let's do the 78 first. This one is, I can't find a value on it, but I played this one last night, and it was just a swinging record from 1947. Erskine Hawkins and his orchestra with Big Fat Sam. I can't find, I'm not going to, I stopped putting records, even if they clear copyright, on my channel, because I'm waiting till, because they have the thing where you have to get monetized, and someone told me you don't want to have a bunch of stuff that you obviously didn't do yourself on there. So I'm kind of holding off on that just to see what they say, because I'm hoping I don't have to pull off the stuff that I did put on there. But this is one I would definitely throw on there because it's a great record. I'll hold it closer so you can see it. Big Fat Sam, great swinging record for you guys. Okay, now we're going to go into the 45s. First of all, well, let's just get these out of the way. Like I said, there was a lot of RCA Victor stuff, and I found a bunch of those cool colored RCA Victor. I can't see because I got two. So there's a couple blue ones. These are Al Goodman. These are really nice condition. And then the first RCA Victor 45s were color coded when they came out. They were colored vinyl, so you knew what type of music they were. And now people want them just because they look cool. So we have that. Some of these I think go for like $10. This is a Mario Lanza, so Mario Lanza stuff's like super thrift story. But the yellow ones are children's records. So you can imagine these are usually trash, and these are in really good shape. These are actually Spike Jones, and it was a set. So I've actually got both of the set. This one was actually still on the sleeve though, but so we got that. So colored vinyl on RCA Victor. I've got some other ones of those too. I think people just like to want to put them on their wall because they look cool, but they're not necessarily something that the music. A lot of them, the music doesn't really translate to current day, like some of the swing and jazz and stuff like that. This one I've seen people asking 10 to 13s from 1949. George Shearing, Sophisticated Lady on Savoy. and not a lot about the 45 version of this. I think there's more stuff about the 78 version of that. This guy had a lot of early 45s, like late 40s, early 50s 45s. So they're all pre-rock and roll. Obviously, this guy was not into rock and roll, unfortunately, because there wasn't any there. We got, I don't know why I even put this one aside to show you because it's so common, but it's Chattanooga Choo Choo by Glenn Miller from 1949. It says it sells between 1 and 10, probably because it's a hit, but it's so minty. Like, even the common stuff was like super minty. So I did put that aside to show you. I don't know why. I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen a Chattanooga Choo Choo record at some point. This one's really cool. This one says sold 1949. It sold between $15 and $56. So an early 45. So back then, you got to remember 49. Most people are still buying 78s. They weren't buying 45s yet. And this one is a Bluebird Series RCA Victor. And I've got original picture sleeve, or not picture sleeve, original company sleeve. This is Rooming House Boogie, Cab Calloway, and his cab jivers. I'll show you that. So a 45 from 1949 of Cab Calloway, and it must be pretty rare because, like I said, it is sold on Discogs between $15 and $56, and you can see how nice that one is. I played it, and it's your typical Cab Calloway. It's a great record. Not sure if I could let that one go. I like Cab. Obviously, I've said before I like Cab Calloway. I like finding Cab Calloway records, obviously, and that one's kind of a rare one, especially being an early 45 when people are still buying 78s. Nothing online about this. Somebody's asking $7 for the 78 of this one, and it's solid as a rock from 1949. Count Basie and his sextet, and this is like the same thing. 1949, 45 RPM. It's Count Basie. And I don't even know what you'd even, like I said, they're asking $7 for the 78. In that era, I would say, honestly, the 45 is obviously way more rare than the 78 on a 1949 issue record, especially being an original one. This one originally came packaged in an envelope of a set of 2. And this is like basically like a Cinderella soundtrack on 245s. I couldn't really find. I saw it said it was worth $150. I saw people asking $50 for each record. So I have no idea where the price is on this. I'm not even going to speculate it. It's Disney related. It's Eileen Woods and the Woodsman, and it's the 245 set of songs from Cinderella. And this is the actual Cinderella. Walt Disney. This isn't like they're doing a cover. This is she did the songs in the movie. This is before Disney had their own record label. See if I can hold one of them up close to the camera there. And you can see they're in mint condition, which is, I can imagine a lot of these were owned by children and they were just beat to death. Unfortunately, I do not have the sleeve that, I guess these was an envelope these originally came in. I don't have it. They came in there and they came with these sleeves from what I could tell online. So still, I've never come across this, and I imagine if I ever do again, it's not going to be in that condition. And I would probably to a Disney collector, they would want it. Fortunately, I am missing the sleeve. This one sells for $10. I'm sure it's common, but it is another early 45 on RCA Victor Bluebird. This is White Christmas, Ralph Flanagan and his orchestra from the movie. That's probably why it sells for 10, because people like those Christmas 45s and Christmas 78s all as well. The other side is She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, and that's from the movie She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, which obviously isn't as famous as White Christmas. It's not Bing Crosby singing. Oh, I turned it the right way. It's not Bing Crosby singing White Christmas, but it is actually from the movie White Christmas, which is probably why. I think it's more like the score where they're just playing the melody, White Christmas. And of course, we're coming up on Christmas time. And here's another one. We saw that Tennessee Waltz. I just broke this one out just to show you the guy not only had that 78, but he had the 45 RPM version as well. This guy had a lot of Spike Jones stuff. I like Spike Jones stuff, but like I said, it is very common. And this was a neat one. This one sells between 6 and 30, and it's on a minor label. This was one that stuck out to me when I was going through everything, because everything was on RCA Victor for the most part on the 45s, except for pretty much this. There was a couple Mercury label records too. Poco Loco and the Coco by Eileen Barton, which is kind of almost a novelty record. And like I said, it sells between 6 and 30. This one was from 1950. And I did see copies of, I don't remember what they went for. There were copies of 78s of this that went for good money. But, I mean, this thing looks brand new. Like, a lot of these look brand new. So that's probably why I really wanted to show you some of the cool stuff from this collection I picked up. So that's what I got this week. I might have time to hit an estate sale tomorrow. I don't know yet. I really need to start working on these cars, and I've got to meet this guy who's supposedly going to buy the Buick I picked up the other day. And then Sunday I'm doing the Pomona Swap Meet. That'll be on my other channel, which the link will be in the description if you like car stuff, vintage car videos. And that's what I have for you this week. Thanks for watching the channel. Like, subscribe, comment as to what your favorite record was. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.